The next installment of the Spider-Man franchise will release next December. And while that's well over a year from now, we should probably expect a trailer early next year. Hello everyone, and welcome to my secret base. My name is Edster, and today I'm going to talk about 5 villains that could be the antagonist of the next Spider-Man movie. I am also going to mention these villains in the order that they are likely to be the antagonists of the next movie. Before we begin, please take a few seconds to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Alright, let's get started. The Kingpin is one of Spider-Man's most notorious villains, though all live adaptations of the character have been paired with Daredevil. Well, it's time for the Kingpin to come home. We should see a scenario where the Kingpin, in an effort to decrease his heat with the authorities, tries to catch and now runaway Spider-Man, which, let's be honest, that's going to be the main plot of the next movie anyway, Spider-Man running away. Anyway, he tries to catch Spider-Man in order to cool himself with the law and also build public support, since Spider-Man is now being considered an enemy of the people. This Kingpin will, of course, be played by Vincent D'Onofrio, and this will also see the debut of Charlie Cox's Daredevil into the real MCU. The Scorpion was introduced in Spider-Man Homecoming as one of the clients of Adrian Toome's Vulture, though Peter foiled their plans at the ferry, which led to Scorpion being arrested. In the post-credit scene, Matt Gargan confronts the Vulture about the identity of Spider-Man, though to no avail as the Vulture refused to give him that precious information. I could see a scenario in which Gargan escapes prison, perhaps during the events of Morbius. They did show that prison scene, maybe that was part of a breakout. And just like in the comics, J. Jonah Jameson hires him to hunt down that menace Spider-Man. Now, onto the Chameleon. The Chameleon was the first villain that Spider-Man faced in the comic, and one that would make a great villain for a movie. Originally, the Chameleon had no actual powers, but later he got some powers after mutating his genes so that he could take anyone's appearance. I am also part of the crew that thinks that Dimitri from Far From Home is actually the Chameleon, and I feel like that's going to be revealed in the next movie. Also, as for the previous item on this list, I could see once again our favorite reporter, J. Jonah Jameson, hire him to pretend to be Spider-Man and cause chaos around the city to incriminate Spidey while he is in hiding. And this will help our hero clear his name once he outs the Chameleon as a fraud. Now, this right here is the most likely to be true, as it's the one that makes the most sense. And also, for the third time in this video, we could see Jameson get irritated when Spidey goes into hiding after being exposed and hires the best hunter in the world to find them. In comes Kraven the Hunter, who locates our favorite web slinger, and our hero has to spend the whole movie finding a new hiding spot and fighting off Kraven. This one doesn't need much explaining, but it will definitely be a very fun game of cat and mouse. If rumors are true, we could see Kraven being played by one Jason Momoa, so essentially the next movie will be Aquaman versus Spider-Man. As you can already guess by my previous points, J. Jonah Jameson will be the one hiring most of these villains. And it's pretty obvious that I'm aiming at the fact that J. Jonah Jameson is going to be the primary antagonist of the next Spider-Man movie. J. Jonah Jameson in the early comics would do everything to make Spider-Man look bad, even going as far as hiring all the goons that I mentioned already. Oftentimes, he would just get off scotch-free. I could see this being no different in the MCU, and in the next movie, J. Jonah would definitely be the one behind whoever the big villain is, regardless of who it is. Like in the comics, at the end of the movie, J. Jonah Jameson will probably end up losing all his credibility, which will pave way to Peter's name being cleared. And it will probably result in a moment of J. Jonah Jameson being absolutely embarrassed, which is also one of my favorite things about the early Spider-Man comics. Well, that is all for this week. Who do you think will be the main antagonist of the next Spider-Man? Will J. Jonah Jameson get a toupee? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video, share it around. And don't forget to check out some of my additional content on the screen right now. And like me on Facebook. See ya!